Denji dreams of being in a back alley, where he finds a door and reaches for it. He then wakes up and decides to go to work for the Yakuza. On his way, he calculates how much money he got from cutting trees, selling his kidney, right eye, one of his nuts. However, he still owes a lot more money. Pochita barks and Denji realizes that there is a devil nearby, which excites him as he earns a good sum for a dead devil. He sees a tomato devil and using Pochita as chainsaw, he manages to kill it. The old man that hired him explains that he will pay him 400,000 yen, more than Denji expected, but after taking various fees and interest, he gives Denji only 70,000 yen. After paying his bill and for other stuff he owes, Denji ends up with only 1,800 yen. The old man's driver wonders why he would hire someone like Denji. The old man explains that Denji is paying them back what his father owed them. The real devil hunters won't give them the devil carcass and Denji is also doing what he is told. The driver offers 100 yen to Denji if he eats his cigarette and Denji gladly accepts.
Alrighty, down the hatch this sucker goes.
We'll be in touch.
After they leave, Denji spits out the cigarette. While eating bread at his place, Denji tells Pochita that he heard people put jam on it, but that's just a dream for them. Denji guesses he will die before he repays the debt and probably won't even get a girlfriend. Denji recalls standing in front of his father's grave and the old man coming complaining that his father killed himself before paying his debt and tells Denji to gather 700,000 yen by tomorrow or he will chop him to pieces. As the old man leaves, Denji sees a devil with a chainsaw and as he feels dead already, he is fine being killed by it. However, he then sees the devil is bleeding and offers him to bite him and drink his blood. As Pochita bites him, Denji states that Pochita needs to pay him back and help him as well.
My blood doesn't come free. You're signing a contract. I helped you out and saved your life. Now return the favor.
The next day, Denji kills a devil and gives it to the old man, asking him to hire him as a devil hunter. Being too hungry, Denji is unable to sleep. He tells Pochita that he dreams of having bread with jam, flirt with a girl, play games with her and then fall asleep while hugging each other. Denji then coughs blood and tells Pochita that he heard his mother had a heart disease that made her also cough blood. The old man then comes and picks up Denji, as he found some devil hunting work for him. The man takes him to an abandoned factory and they enter, but Denji is unable to see any devil. The man tells Denji that he is grateful to him as he is loyal as a dog and works for cheap, however he can't stand the dog stench. In that moment, a man with a sword stabs Denji and Pochita from behind. The man explains that even Yakuza dream of getting bigger and making more money, so they made a deal with the devil. They wanted power, and the devil wanted dead devil hunters. Zombie devil then reveals itself and states that the Yakuza are dumb just for a bit of power. They become his slaves as his power turns them into zombies.
Such gullible fools! I offered them a shred of my demonic power, and they willingly handed their freedom to me on a silver platter.
The zombie devil doesn't like devil hunters as they kill other devils, and orders his new zombie army to kill Denji. Heavily bleeding, Denji attempts to run, but the zombies catch up to him and start stabbing and chopping him to pieces. Cut to pieces, Denji is thrown into a dumper with Pochita. Some of his blood reaches Pochita's mouth and Pochita awakens. Pochita recalls spending time with Denji, cutting trees. Denji tells him that he may die while fighting a devil and his regret would be that he will leave Pochita alone and starving, or that other devil hunters may kill him. Denji heard that some devils can take over dead bodies and if that's something he can do, he tells Pochita to have his body. He then can live a normal life and die a normal death.
I want you to live a normal life and die a normal death.
In the dumpster, Pochita fuses with Denji, combining his chopped pieces and heals him. Denji awakens and wonders if Pochita took over his dead body. Pochita states he loved hearing Denji talk about his dreams. Pochita decides to give him his heart and in exchange, he wants Denji to show him his dreams. Denji awakens healed in the dumpster and sees Pochita's tail coming out of his chest. The zombie devil is surprised seeing Denji alive, and tells the zombies to eat him. Denji wonders if he is the same as the Yakuza and wasn't satisfied with the happiness he had with Pochita, but kept dreaming for more. In that case, he can't blame them, but if they are in his way, they will die. Denji then pulls the cord from his chest as the zombies jump on him. Moments later, he bursts out from the zombie pile having transformed, chainsaw replacing his arms and head. After chopping some zombies, Denji then jumps on the zombie devil and starts cutting him. The zombie devil manages to push him back and starts throwing zombies at him to keep him away. Continuing to cut zombies, Denji jumps on the zombie devil and cuts him in half. Seeing the remaining zombies, Denji ironically notes they became devils and they hired him to kill devils. He proceeds to cut them all, stating that once he does, he won't be owing them money anymore. Early in the morning, a car stops in front of the abandoned factory. Makima and two men then enter and see the bloodbath inside. She sees Denji and approaches him, stating he has a strange smell, neither human nor devil, and guesses he did all of this. Denji asks to be hugged and Makima hugs him.
Please, will you hold me?
Denji returns to normal and Makima notes he is human and explains he isn't possessed. She also explains that she came to kill the zombie devil and that she is a devil hunter with public safety. She gives Denji two options, to kill him as a devil, or she can keep him as a human, and if she keeps him, she promises to make sure he is fed. Denji asks what she will give him for breakfast and Makima states bread with butter and jam, salad, coffee, and maybe some dessert. Denji then finds that awesome. While riding in the car with Makima, Denji's stomach growls. Makima tells him that he is in her care now and is expecting yes or woof answers, as she doesn't need a dog that says no. Denji was thinking that Makima is nice, but he finds her kinda scary now as she treats him like a dog. Denji then recalls Pochita and his stomach growls again. Makima then suggests that they eat something at the rest area. She tells him that she is paying and also gives him his coat as he is shirtless. Denji gets happy as no one ever was that nice to him and he believes he now loves Makima. At the rest area, Denji orders udon and sausage, while Makima orders curry udon. Having lost some blood from the chainsaws, Denji feels anemic and falls on Makima.
Man, that don't sound bad either. You know.
Hello there. Are you okay? Can you stand up?
Poor fella. You smell good.
What's the grand total?
Denji?
I'm sorry.
As he apologizes and explains it, Makima asks him how he became like that and Denji tells her his pet devil replaced his heart. Makima explains that there are not many precedents of his condition and there is no name for that, but she believes him as she has a good sense of smell. She tells him that his friend is alive in him and that he gives both a human and a devil scent. Denji gets excited, but feels anemic and collapses. As he wakes up, their udon is ready. Makima asks him if he can eat alone and Denji starts saying he can, but then changes his mind and states he can't. Makima then feeds him the udon, which he enjoys, although she states it's soggy at that point. Denji asks Makima her name and what type of guys she likes. After revealing her name and thinking a bit, Makima states she likes Denji type of guys. They reach Tokyo, but Denji is still thinking of Makima's answer and states he likes her too. She then tells him they have reached the Devil Hunter headquarters in Tokyo. As they enter the building, she explains that there are over 1,000 Devil Hunters in Tokyo, including civilians, and that public safety has the best benefits and paid vacation time. Denji starts wondering if they will be working together and if they can end up being together. Makima gives Denji a uniform and introduces him to a co-worker, Aki Hayakawa, who started 3 years ago, and explains that Denji will be working with him today. Denji is surprised he won't be working with Makima, and Aki states that's to be expected and then drags him out as they need to go out on patrol. Denji refuses, wanting to work with Makima. She approaches him and states that if he does a good job, they can work together someday, and makes his tie. While on patrol with Aki, Denji asks if Makima has a boyfriend. Aki initially ignores him and then calls him to an alley, where he punches him. As he hits him a few more times, Aki tells him to quit and that if he shows up tomorrow, he will beat him up again. Denji wonders why and Aki explains he is trying to be nice, since people who start this job without thinking end up dead. He had several co-workers who got into devil hunting for money and end up dying, and only those with real motivations are surviving. Aki guesses Denji took the job as he is after Makima and Denji confirms. As Aki leaves, he states he will tell Makima that Denji ran after seeing the devils. A moment later, Denji runs to him and kicks him between the legs. Denji notes that Aki is a nice guy as when he fights men, he goes for their nuts and then proceeds to kick Aki between the legs. Denji states that today for the first time he had udon and sausage, and was treated like a human.
Thought you were full of it when you said you wasted kindness on me. But you are nice, cause when I fight a dude, it's nuts or nothing!
He may have started devil hunting without thinking, but if he can keep this lifestyle, he doesn't care if he dies. He then corrects himself that he cares as it's not just his life. Aki stands up and attacks Denji, stating that a punk like him shouldn't be chasing someone like Makima, but Denji kicks him between the legs again, saying he sounds like he is into Makima too. As Aki falls to the ground, he notes that Denji indeed goes only for the nuts. Beaten up, They go to Makima and Denji states that the nut devil attacked Aki's nuts, but Aki states it's a lie. Makima wonders if they can work together, and they deny it, but Makima ignores them. She tells Denji that he will be joining Aki's unit. Aki doesn't want another troublemaker, but Makima reminds him she told him it's an experimental unit that operates differently from the usual methods. Aki wonders what is Denji and she tells him he can turn into a devil. Aki heard such rumors but didn't think it was true. Makima states Denji is special and will receive special treatment. She explains that if he tries to resign or refuses to work, he will be disposed of as a devil. Aki tells Denji that he will be living with him so that he can keep eye on him and is allowed to kill him if he attempts to run. Denji wonders if Makima is a bad person and Aki states if he thinks that, he should give up on her, and he should be grateful she didn't kill him. Denji then wonders if she is a good person and Aki confirms since she saved his life. In the morning, at Aki's place, Denji uses various jams to make himself breakfast, making a total mess. Denji keeps living carefree, annoying Aki.
Don't sleep on the toilet!
One day, they get on a mission as a fiend has been spotted. As they enter the building, Denji asks what is a fiend and Aki asks him if he hasn't gone to school and Denji confirms. Aki then explains that a fiend is when a devil takes control of a human corpse. Denji wonders if he is a fiend, but Aki denies it, stating that fiends have characteristic heads. They enter a room where the fiend is and Aki tells Denji to kill him by turning into a devil, so he can figure out if he is useful. The fiend gets angry and attacks them, but Denji beheads him using an axe. Aki wonders why he didn't use his powers and Denji explains that it gets messy when he does and wants to make it painless for the fiend. Aki tells him that fiends are like devils and if he is hunting devils, he should drop the sympathy. Aki reveals his family was killed by a devil in front of his eyes. The police officers down are risking their lives, and everyone is taking it seriously except Denji. Aki asks him if he is trying to make friends with the devils. Denji states that if there is a devil he can be friends with, he would as he doesn't have any friends.
Know what else? I witnessed a devil kill my whole family. I've had drinks with those cops outside. They're risking their lives to protect the people they hold most dear. Everyone's serious about this, but you. I want any devil I slaughter to suffer as much as possible. Then there's you, the sap who wants to be buddies with them.
I'll gladly be a devil's friend if they ever made the offer, because I don't have any friends.
Aki then leaves, stating he will remember it. Alone in the room, Denji states he just wanted to keep the blood away from the porn magazines on the ground, and that's why he didn't transform. Denji feels his dream has come true as he now has a good life, but feels something is missing. As he thinks of what other people dream of, he thinks of Makima and states he wants to touch her chest. He then realizes that touching a woman's chest is something he stopped dreaming of long ago, but having a proper life now may be possible. Denji then gets a new goal, touching a woman's chest. While speaking with Makima, she tells him that she is assigning him a new partner and explains that public safety executes patrols and smaller missions with two-person teams. As his new partner comes, Makima warns him that she is a fiend. Power then enters, announcing her name and asking Denji if he is her new partner. Denji is surprised and wonders if fiends can be devil hunters, but looking at her chest, he changes his mind and is happy to meet her. Makima explains that fiends are also up for extermination, but Power is quite rational and is on Aki's team. She reminds them that if there are no results, the experimental team will be dissolved and they know what will that means for them. As Power horns stand out, Makima warns them to patrol areas without many pedestrians. While with Power, she gets annoyed and slaps Denji, telling him to provide her with something she can kill as she is starved for blood.
Human! Supply prey for me, post-haste! I yearn for the savor of blood.
Denji decides to put up with her as she finds her attractive, but wonders how to get his hands on her chest. They meet policemen and Denji recalls that Makima told him to introduce themselves as part of Public Safety Devil Extermination Special Division 4 and show them an ID. Denji and Power are unable to find any devils. Power notes it's probably due to her as while she was a devil, she was feared by all. Denji then wonders if they can do anything that way and recalls that they got put together by Aki's recommendation. Denji realizes that Aki had set him up and is trying to get him fired. Power then smells blood and starts running. A sea cucumber devil has been spotted and is being reported, but Power jumps from the building, forms a hammer with her blood and smashes the devil, causing a messy and bloody scene. She then gets excited that she killed the devil and laughs maniacally.
Holy shit.
More castles, behold! The glory of the kill is mine!
While people work on cleaning the mess left by Power killing the sea cucumber devil, Makima tells her that when public safety kills a civilian hunter's devil, they are guilty of obstructing their business and normally Power would be arrested for that. She tells Power to think more before she acts and to Denji to get her under control. As Power was the blood devil, she has a talent for using her blood, but she gets worked up easily and maybe isn't cut out for being a devil hunter. Hearing that, Power states Denji made her kill the devil, but Denji denies it, calling her a liar. The two then start arguing about who is lying. Makima tells them to be quiet and Power immediately stops. Makima then states she wants to see them working well together and Power agrees that they can. Denji buys himself a drink. Power sees a cat and starts petting it. Denji states that buying a drink is a dream come true for him, but if things continue like this, being thirsty will be the least of his problems. And with Power lying, things won't be any easier. Power explains that she enjoys only the cat's company and hates humans. She also hates devils as one of them took her pet Meowie. Before she could get Meowie back, Makima captured her, and by now Meowie may be dead, but Power refuses to give up hope. If she can get Meowie back, Power is willing to abide by humans or whatever else she needs to do. She doubts that Denji can understand her concern for a cat. Denji states it's stupid for a cat, but he will do anything to touch some breasts. However, if it's a dog, he can understand her. Power then suggests he can touch her breasts if she helps him retrieve Meowie. Denji gets pumped up and angry at the devil that kidnapped the poor cat, and as a devil hunter, he can't stay quiet and will kill that devil.
As a devil hunter, I say no! I'll murderize him. Straight kill the shit out of that asshole!
The two then get approval from public safety for Power to be able to go out. While they travel towards the devil, Power explains that she knows where the devil is, but only Denji will be able to fight it, as the devil will likely use Meowie as a shield. Denji explains he used to have a pet named Pochita. He can't pet him anymore, but he is fine as he is in his heart. Power states that humans are foolish as that just means that Pochita died and that thing about living in his heart is just miserable self-comfort. Thinking about his goal, Denji decides to not argue with her but believes he will never get along with her. Makima meets with the higher-ups, who comment that they heard other countries using devils in the military, but they hope that in the future Japan's only enemies will remain to be devils. They ask Makima how is her squad performing. She notes that one seems promising, while another she picked recently, seems interesting. They remind her that her job is to raise them and use them for work, so she must not get attached. Afterwards in the car, Aki states that Denji is disgusting and not interesting, and wonders why Makima has high hopes for him. Makima states that all devils are born with names and the more those names are feared, the more powerful the devil becomes. For example, coffee isn't considered very frightening, so a coffee devil would probably be weak. But that's different for a car devil, as it's easy to imagine being run over and dying, so a car devil would be probably strong. She states that Denji can turn into Chainsaw Devil, which seems pretty interesting to her.
Take coffee, for instance. It might scald you, but it isn't very intimidating, so a coffee devil would probably be weak. Cars paint a much scarier image since plenty of people dread crashes or getting run over, which would make a car devil strong.
Aki still isn't sure he will be useful as everyone in public safety has a real goal or motivation, but Denji just wants to live the good life and even thinks he can be friends with devils. Power and Denji reach the outskirts of the city and Power points to a house, stating the devil who took Meowie is inside. While heading towards the house, Denji hopes he doesn't need to turn into chainsaws, but Power thinks he is joking. As they get close, Denji recalls that the devil will use the cat as a shield and wonders if Power should be this close, since he can see her. Power recalls she did say that, but states she misspoke. At that moment they stop. In an instant she creates a blood hammer. Denji tries to hit her with his axe, but she hits him first and knocks him out. She then notes that for an idiot, his instincts are sharp. Power drags Denji inside the house. A devil tells her that she kept him waiting and he thought she ran away. Power explains it took her a while to regain some freedom and has brought him a human as he demanded. The Bat Devil then picks up Denji, noting that since he is young, his blood will be full of vigor. Denji starts to awaken and the Bat Devil shows him that he lost his arm, which forced him into hiding. Denji doesn't care, but the devil tells him that food shouldn't talk and states that by drinking human blood, he will heal the wounds he got from humans. He lifts Denji above his head and squeezes him, causing him to throw up some blood. However, as he drinks it, the Bat Devil states it is disgusting and throws Denji away. His arm regenerates, but having a bad taste, the Bat Devil wants to cleanse it with another human. Denji looks at Power, who states that humans are foolish and he believed her story. The Bat Devil looks at the city but dislikes cigarettes, makeup and perfume smell. However, he finds some nice aroma and states he will be eating some children. Power states she brought a human as promised and asks him to release Meowie. Bat Devil recalls he said that, but he hasn't punished her for bringing him nasty blood and then swallows Meowie.
But I haven't punished you for bringing such nasty fare.
Meowie.
Seeing that Power recalls her days in the wild and how she met Meowie. After killing a bear, she found a barely alive cat and named her Meowie. She decides to fatten her up before eating it. She kept looking after the cat, feeding her and looking towards the day she will eat her. One day, while lying down on the roof of a house and hearing the cat meowing, Power notes that she had killed everything she had ever met and heard something that isn't screaming as strange. The Bat Devil then appears and takes Meowie. Injured, he states that he needs blood and if she wants the cat back, she needs to bring him a human. Seeing the Bat Devil swallowing Meowie, Power turns to Denji and tells him she now understands what he feels when he no longer can pet Pochita, and that's an awful feeling. The Bat Devil then takes and swallows her as well. The Bat Devil complains this tasted bad as well and needs to eat some children to feel better. He then flies towards the city, noting that after that he will eat some virgin and as a main course a beefy man, while for dessert a pregnant woman. At that moment, he notices Denji clinging to his leg and sucking his blood, wanting him to give his breasts back. The devil is surprised to see that and captures Denji. He recalls that one day he woke up and couldn't find Pochita. He looked everywhere for him and feared a devil had eaten him. When he returned home, he found Pochita crying in the corner, waiting for Denji. Feeling relieved, Denji easily fell asleep while holding Pochita. Denji wonders what Power felt when she was trying to sleep, knowing that devil had Meowie. Denji then pulls the cord on his chest and as the chainsaw comes from his head, he cuts the devil's arms and frees himself, surprising the Bat Devil that he is a devil. The two fall into a building and Denji sees a woman and tells her to run. The Bat Devil wonders why he did it considering he is a devil. Denji punches the devil and starts fighting him. As they fight, he sees other humans and tells them to run. Seeing that, the Bat Devil picks up a car with a human inside and throws it at Denji, wondering if he will cut that. Denji manages to grab the car and hold it, stating that he doesn't care if he saves a dude or not and throws the car back at the devil, hitting him in the face. The Bat Devil then shoots out a shockwave from its mouth, blowing Denji away. The Bat Devil picks up the human from the car, wanting to eat him and heal. However, he still hears the chainsaws and the smoke and wonders how is Denji still alive. Angry, Denji states he has been patiently waiting, but he still can't cop a feel. The Bat Devil gets scared and throws debris at Denji, telling him to stay away, but Denji just cuts them with his chainsaws. He then attempts to punch Denji, but Denji just cuts his arm and then jumps and kills the Bat Devil, splitting his guts open. Power is seen decapitating animals in the forest and drinking blood from them. She continues to spend time with Meowie, who starts to grow on her. When the Bat Devil captures Meowie and requests a human in return, Power doesn't hesitate and heads towards the city, all while wondering why is she doing it. She finds saving Meowie a foolish reason as she loves blood. However, she recently realized that blood is warm and it feels pleasant. Power wakes up holding Meowie, being held by Denji, with the Bat Devil's intestines surrounding them. She wonders why Denji saved her, as she attempted to kill him. He points at her chest and that he wants to touch her, but she thinks it's a foolish reason. She apologizes for deceiving him and since Meowie is safe, she will allow him to touch her. Denji gets excited and raises his arm, but it gets blown off at that moment. The Leech Devil then picks up his arm and eats it. Power is unable to move and tells Denji to take Meowie and run. Denji pulls the cord on his chest, but only a small chainsaw comes out and he figures he must be low on blood. The Leech Devil guesses that Denji killed her man, the Bat Devil. The devil finds Denji cute and her type, so she decides to let him go. However, the devil intends to kill Power and Meowie.
But you still need to die.
No way I'm dying till I've held some boobs.
Hearing that, Denji prepares to fight and the Leech Devil states, if that's the case, he will also be dying. As they start to fight, Denji runs around trying to dodge her attacks. Eventually, he manages to land a punch, but the Leech Devil pushes him back, stating that he seems quite weak to be able to kill the Bat Devil. She reveals they had a dream where she and he would kill all humans, a noble and romantic dream. Denji refuses to die before he is able to cop a feel. The Leech Devil finds his dream to be quite bad. He runs at the devil and manages to cut her neck with a small chainsaw on his head. Denji then rants about how everyone makes fun of his dream and how much better dreams they have. Getting angrier and angrier, he states they should have a dream battle and if he kills her it would mean her dream was weaker than his. The leech devil mocks him that even his yelling is weak. Then, Denji runs at her. Avoiding her attacks, he grabs an intestine and starts wrapping it around the leech devil, making her drop to her knees. The fight becomes wilder as they exchange blows and Denji starts acting crazier and crazier. Eventually, he jumps at her, but she pierces his chest with her tongue, defeating him. As she is about to eat him, Aki shows up and uses Khan, eating the leech devil's head with the fox devil.
Calm.
The fox devil asks Aki for permission to swallow the leech devil and Aki gives it. Aki confirms the extermination of the leech devil and orders the newbie devil hunters that came with him to do search and rescue. He then asks Imino, as a senior, to keep watch for more devils. Denji wakes up in the hospital, where Aki tells him that they found his arm and it only needed some blood infusion to reattach. Denji notes that Aki looked quite friendly with the fox devil. Aki explains that devil hunters form contracts with devils to fight against them. In exchange for power from the fox devil, Aki offered a bit of his body as food. In this case, it was some skin. Denji tries to reach for the apples that Aki was cutting, but Aki pulls them away. Aki states that devils and fiends yearn for the death of humans. Denji states that power seems cool. Aki reveals that they found them by following surveillance cameras which led to a house where supposedly the bat devil was and there was a lot of Denji's blood there. Aki guesses that Power tried to kill Denji, but doesn't know why Denji is protecting her. Denji plays dumb and states he doesn't know what happened. Aki recalls that there were reports of people wanting to thank the chainsaw devil as it saved them. He tells Denji that if he keeps digging he will need to write a report that will lead to Power disposal along with Denji as he covers for her. However, as there are no fatalities and if Denji accepts one condition, Aki will forget about it. Aki pushes the apples to Denji and asks him to listen to him and he will continue with his current lifestyle. While eating the apple, Denji agrees and states that he may not have a big dream or be as serious as Aki, but Aki can count on him. Outside of the hospital room, Power is waiting with Imino. As Aki leaves, Power states he should have gotten confirmation from Denji that she is innocent. Himino notes that if he releases her and she kills someone, it will be Aki's responsibility. Aki releases Power and states they are devil hunters and if the devils and fiends are useful, they will use them against their enemies. In the evening, Aki visits Makima at the headquarters and reports about Denji and Power. He explains that while they were patrolling they ended up going outside the patrol zone and discovered a house they felt had a devil inside it. He states Denji eliminated the bat devil, and the leech devil attacked Denji, but Division 4 exterminated the leech devil. He states they did not find any gun flesh in the two devils. Makima thanks him for the report, but notes that Denji and Power managed to get quite far without anyone noticing. Aki states they can overlook it since there were no fatalities and they were able to get rid of two devils. Makima accepts it but notes that Aki seems more flexible now and wonders if it's due to Denji's influence. However, Aki denies that he has changed. In the morning, Aki wakes up and washes. After making himself a coffee, he goes and sits on his balcony. Then Denji wakes up and goes to the bathroom. While Denji eats breakfast, Aki starts doing house chores. Later, Aki starts to prepare curry for lunch. Aki and Denji hear someone knocking violently on their door. When they go to check the door, they see Power break the door and enter. Power states that their place looks pitiful.
Well. What a dismal abode you have here.
Aki gets a call from Makima, who tells him that she wants to put Power under his care too, just like Denji. Makima assures him that Power promised to behave. The three are about to eat lunch, but seeing veggies on her plate, Power picks it up and throws it away, stating she doesn't like the food. Both Denji and Aki scold her for misbehaving and wasting food, but she doesn't care. Power then clogs the toilet as she doesn't like to flush each time and that she only likes to bathe from time to time. As Denji and Aki complain, she finds them absurd and delicate. Denji is trying to unclog the toilet when Power comes and points at her chest and signals a grab. She states she is fulfilling her promise and will let him touch her. She sits on the toilet and tells him he has 3 squeezes. 1 for saving Meowie, 1 for killing Bat Devil and 1 for protecting her from Aki. She originally did not intend to allow him but changed her mind. Excited, Denji thinks she is an angel. Power lets Denji get a feel, but he feels strange and something falls off. Power reveals its pads that make her breasts bigger and lets him touch her 2 more times. She then boosts it must have felt good and leaves the bathroom.
And that's it! Squeezing complete! Was it not the most splendid experience? Stunned by just how fortunate you are?
Denji is left dumbstruck, wondering if this was all. The next day, Denji doesn't have an appetite and goes patrolling with Power but he's spacing out and unmotivated. Later in the office, he signs some documents that Makima makes him, but she notices he feels down and wonders what's on his mind. Denji explains he got what he always wanted, but it didn't feel great when he got it. He wonders if in the future he wants something and if he will be again more happy during the process of getting it than when he gets it. Makima asks him what he means and Denji tells her that he touched a woman's breast for the first time and it didn't feel that good. Makima then takes his hand and tells him that she believes in cases like that, the more you know the person, the better it feels. While playing with his hand, she tells him that he needs to look at the other person's hand, the length of their fingers, if their hand is cold or warm, and the shape of their ears. She then bites his finger asking him if someone had bitten it before. She tells him to remember the feeling and even if he doesn't see, he can tell it's her from how hard she bites him. Makima places his hand on her chest. After a moment, Denji panics and falls on his back. Makima tells him that she has a request, and wants him to defeat the gun devil.
Denji, dear. There's a favor I'd like to ask. If that's alright.
Sure. She explains that the gun devil appeared 13 years ago in America, but his current location is unknown. It's a strong devil that every devil hunter dreams of defeating. She believes since Denji is special, he can kill it and if he does, she will grant him one wish. Denji gets excited realizing he can ask about anything, including dirty stuff. Makima shares that when devils appeared, people started using more guns, but that resulted in conflicts which caused people to be even more afraid of guns. Then there was a massive terrorist attack with guns in America, and that's when the gun devil appeared. During the terrorist attack, young Aki wants to play catch with his father, but his father refuses as his brother Tayo isn't feeling well and tells Aki to go and play alone. Tayo decides he wants to play with Aki and goes out with him to play. Outside, Aki is annoyed at Tayo and throws a snowball at him, telling him to not follow him, but Tayo throws a snowball back at him. They throw several balls at each other. Tayo feels his hands freezing and Aki, not wanting his brother to catch a cold, tells him to go back inside and takes his gloves, so they can play catch. After Tayo gets back inside the house, their house gets blown away. Makima explains that the gun devil had killed 1.2 million people within 5 minutes, and after that, the gun devil disappeared, but people's fear of devils increased and so did the strength of the devils. To keep the gun devil's strength under control, they made a law that forbids people from keeping guns and limited news on cases that involved guns. Denji states that if he does his best, he should be able to defeat the gun devil. Makima then states their first step is finding the gun devil. She shows bullets, stating they are pieces of the gun devil's flesh. As the devil moves too fast, some pieces from his body get burned and detached. When a devil eats a piece, it gets stronger due to the gun devil. Makima explains that the pieces stick together and when they get big enough, they will go back to the original body. Meanwhile, Aki finds another piece from the gun devil, after killing the fish devil who ate it. Public safety gets a new mission. Someone saw a devil in Hotel Morin. Several civil devil hunters had died when they tried to kill the devil. There is a chance that the devil ate one of the pieces of the gun devil. 6 devil hunters along with Denji, are assigned to deal with the devil. Standing in front of the hotel and holding a piece from the gun devil, Aki confirms that the devil inside ate a piece too as his piece is reacting towards the hotel. Denji guesses that it may be the gun devil himself, but Aki disproves it, stating the reaction should have been stronger. Hirokazu doesn't trust power in Denji, and Aki tells him that he doesn't need to as they will be the first to engage devils and they can kill them if they decide to run away. Denji and Power wonder if Aki is grumpy due to the morning prank they made, but Aki gets angry stating it wasn't even a prank. Himino tells him to not be hard on the kids. Denji agrees and states he didn't rest from fighting the bat devil and wants a reward. Himino then states that whoever kills the devil, will get a kiss on the cheeks from her. Denji gets excited, but recalls his actions with Makima and states he doesn't need a kiss and has decided who he is going to be kissing. Denji explains that he was taught that such things feel good only when you know the person and he doesn't even know Himino's name, so he isn't interested in a kiss from her. Himino then approaches him and tells him that if he kills the devil, she will give him a French kiss. Denji gets super motivated and rushes first into the hotel. Hirokazu goes after Denji, wanting to stop him and explaining that Himino has been helping him and taking care of him for half a year, and he can't let some nameless rascal take her lips and it's better if Hirokazu gets a kiss on the cheek by her. Power and Kobeni join in Denji and Hirokazu's argument. Aki wonders if the newbies are good and Himino explains that Hirokazu isn't strong, but has the motivation, while Kobeni is not brave, but she is strong. Aki believes that in a year, they will either die or quit. Himino then tells Aki to not die. Sometime earlier, at the graveyard, Kishibe approaches injured Himino and introduces her new teammate, Aki. Himino asks him if he is useful and Aki states probably. She explains that Aki is her 6th teammate, and all previous ones died because they were garbage. She then tells Aki to not die. The devil hunters keep looking for the devil inside the hotel. Himino then stops and tells Aki that the devil is coming. A door then opens and a head with a hand and foot comes out. It jumps at Kobeni, but Himino uses her devil to catch it. Power then creates a sword from her blood and slices the head in half. Power then states the devil got so scared of her that it froze, but Himino explains it was her power. Himino has a contract with the ghost devil which gave her the right eye to use the devil's power, allowing her to control the devil's right hand. As that isn't the devil with the gun devil's piece, they proceed towards the next floor. Power wonders if it was okay for Himino to tell her Power if she intends to fight her if she goes wild. Himino is fine with it and states she still has an ace in her sleeve. Power then wonders what she will do if he kills Kobeni, but Himino then grabs her with the ghost devil and states she can kill her anytime. Power attempts to grab the devil's arm, but being the ghost devil, her hands just pass through the devil. Reaching the next floor, Hirokazu notices a blood splatter, which is the same as the one left by the death devil on the previous floor. He returns to check the label and sees that they are still on the 8th floor instead of the 9th one. He then goes downstairs, but the rest see him coming from upstairs.
Something's going on here. I'll double check.
I know. Grilled steak.
Steak? I could go for some of that.
As Hirokazu comes from upstairs, while going downstairs, the devil hunters realize something is wrong. Himino asks Kobeni to make the peace sign and not move. Himino then goes downstairs, but she also comes out from upstairs. Aki enters one of the rooms. He notices that on the other side of the window is another room. He goes into it and then leaves through the door, but finds himself on the same 8th floor opposite the room he just entered. Denji confirms it too, saying that the room on the other side of the windows leads to the room directly across them. Aki then realizes they are stuck on the 8th floor. They attempt many things, but in the end, conclude that it must be a devil's trick. They can't leave the 8th floor either by going up or down the stairs. The windows lead to the rooms across them and the elevators don't work. Going through the ceiling also results in going back to the 8th floor. Denji blames Power for killing the head demon as it may have sealed them before it died, but she immediately states he made her kill him, which Denji denies. Aki explains that can't be true as the devil's power will disappear with the death of the devil. Himino states it's the first time she had seen a devil use such tricks. Hirokazu guesses that other devil hunters will come to help them, but Himino hopes they don't end up in the same trap as them. Kobeni cries, stating they will all die. She was forced to be a sex worker or devil hunter, as her family needs money to send her smart brother to university. Seeing her cry, Power starts laughing at her. Aki notices that the clocks all stopped at 8:18 and guesses the devil can stop the time on the 8th floor, and likely no one will come to save them. Denji gets happy as that would mean he can sleep as much as he wants. Hirokazu calls him an idiot as they are stuck there forever. Denji states that may or may not be true and to wake him up when they figure it out. After a while, Himino wakes up Denji and tells him that while he slept, they figured that the water supply and electricity are still working. They also managed to get some food left by customers who had run away. Aki refuses to rest and keeps looking for the devil. Hirokazu was supposed to go with Aki, but he is too scared and locked himself in a room. Kobeni went crazy, wanting to even drink from the toilet, and Himino had to knock her out. Power has nothing else to do, so she is only thinking about a Nobel Prize, and how humans will treat her like a god after she wins it. She will then become a prime minister and make the consumption tax 100%. Denji states that Power is always like that, so Himino relaxes. While looking after Hirokazu and Kobeni, Himino lights her last cigarette. Denji notes she smokes the same brand as Aki, and Himino explains that she taught him how to smoke. At some point earlier, Himino asks Aki if he is smoking, but he denies it as it's bad for his health. As Aki doesn't want to make friends, Himino guesses he became a devil hunter as he wants to kill the gun devil. Since devil hunters die young, it doesn't matter if cigarettes harm their health. Aki states he won't die easily, and Himino hopes that's the case as it's too much trouble when a teammate dies. Later, Aki sees a woman slapping Himino, who then explains that she was the girlfriend of a former teammate. As those family members can't take it on the devil, they usually take it on the devil hunters. Aki then goes after the woman and puts gum in her hair. He tells Himino that she should fight back when people hurt her. Himino is surprised but starts laughing. Later, while having dinner, Himino gives a cigarette to Aki, hoping that if they are going to be teammates for a while that he starts to smoke. Aki accepts, stating it will be the only cigarette in his life. Back on the 8th floor, Aki returns to the group and asks Himino if she has a cigarette, but she tells him she is currently smoking her last one. Aki then approaches her and wants the cigarette, and she gives it to him. Denji then blames them for an indirect kiss, but they ignore him. Aki states he has bad news. The devil they killed is getting bigger and bigger. They hear something in the hallway and come out and see the hallway is blocked by a pile of flesh with eyes, arms, etc. The devil then calls them stupid humans and it wants to have a contract with them. The devil wants to eat Denji, dead or alive, and it will let all others leave unharmed. Kobeni then comes out of the room, holding a knife and telling Denji to let the devil eat him. She rushes at Denji, but Aki disarms her and Himino knocks her down. Aki tries using the fox devil, but as he can't summon him, he guesses the place is completely secluded from the outside world, while the fox devil is in Kyoto. Himino then uses her ghost devil, eating parts of the devil. The devil screams it hurts, but ends up becoming bigger. The devil states they are wasting their time as this isn't his real body, his heart isn't there and this is only his stomach. The devil again asks them to make a contract with him. Denji guesses that it will still kill everyone, but Himino explains that as long as they abide by the contract, the devil will have to do it too and whoever breaks it first, will die. Hirokazu also comes out and suggests they kill Denji or they will die too. Aki states since the devil want Denji dead, it must be beneficial to it somehow, so he refuses. Himino also refuses, but Power is fine killing him since if she can't leave, she can't win her Nobel Prize. Aki states that a fiend can't form a contract, so if she kills Denji, the devil doesn't need to keep his word. The group spends some more time thinking. Aki states that if necessary, he will use his sword, but Himino forbids him. Denji wonders why, but Himino states that if it comes to it, she will rather kill Denji than let Aki use his sword. Hirokazu sees that all the food is gone. He sees Power chewing, but she denies it, stating that Denji ate it all. Kobeni then shows up and blames Powers for being unable to leave. Hirokazu tries to calm her, but she guesses he must be a spy for being on the devil's side. Power confirms it, but Hirokazu denies being a spy. Kobeni however approaches him, yelling he is a spy, causing him to be scared of her. The devil outside then grows bigger and starts chasing Aki, Himino, and Denji, wanting Denji and stating it expands from fear. The devil states only he can kill Chainsaw and that he is Eternity Devil. The floor then turns 90 degrees. Hirokazu and Kobeni yell at Aki and Himino to kill Denji. Aki decides to use his sword, but Himino uses her devil on him to stop him. She explains that if he uses his sword, they will get out, but the contract he made will shorter his life, so she cannot allow it. Hirokazu jumps on Denji and Kobeni attempts to stab him, but Aki manages to move and protects Denji with his body, allowing himself to be stabbed. Aki states he doesn't care if Denji gets killed, but Denji wants to kill the gun devil and Aki can't do it alone. Even if he has less time to live, Aki needs as many devil hunters and won't let Denji die. Denji asks Power if she can stop Aki's bleeding. Power explains she can control her blood and controlling someone else is difficult, but if Aki dies, she will lose the one who cooks for her. Guessing that Aki can die, Himino loses her cool and starts wondering what they will do. Kobeni states it's not her fault, but Denji, who could have avoided all this if he let the devil eat him. Denji then states he will let the devil eat him, but he will still fight him and if he has a chance, he will kill him, so Himino shouldn't forget her promise about the kiss. Denji guesses the devil is afraid of the chainsaw, which is why it asks them to kill him. As the devil was screaming in pain when Himino was attacking him, Denji guesses he will give him hell and force it to kill itself. Denji is annoyed that Aki did this for him and states that once they are out, they will be even. Pulling his cord, Denji then jumps into the hallway towards the Eternity Devil. He fights him, slashing and cutting everything he could see, but he also receives injuries from the devil, who adds that it's pointless to cut him as his heart isn't there. Power adds that if Denji keeps losing blood, his chainsaw will retract. The Eternity Devil laughs at Denji, stating that the chainsaw had become weaker. Due to the loss of blood, Denji's chainsaw arms retract, but he bites the Eternity Devil and drinks its blood. He notes that even bad-tasting blood tastes good when he sees the agony of the Eternity Devil. Seeing Denji's crazy fight, Himino recalls a conversation with Kishibe at Sahara's grave. He tells her that devils fear the devil hunters with a few screws loose. Sahara was quite sane, which is why he died. The same with Kanochi, Subaru, and Sasaki. Sane people fear the devil's attack, and that fear makes the devil stronger. Kishibe asks if Aki is also sane, but Himino states that no sane person will try killing the gun devil. Later, Himino asks Aki if he wants to become a civilian devil hunter with her. She explains she got a good offer and they can keep their lifestyle. Aki is fine continuing to meet up, but he is not interested in being a civilian devil hunter. Himino is sure that if Aki fights the gun devil, he will die, because he is cool, gentle and normal, like everyone else. The Eternity Devil knocks Denji and believes it won. Himino pulls his cord with her ghost devil arm. Denji then stands up and states he got an idea. If he keeps cutting him and drinking its blood, then that's a perpetual motion machine. Seeing how crazy Denji is, Himino starts to believe he may be able to kill the gun devil. 3 days later, Denji still fights the Eternity Devil. Himino goes to Aki and lies with him in bed, telling him that it is over. The Eternity Devil exposes his weakness, saying it's his heart and asks Denji to kill it as it no longer can bear the pain. Denji is surprised it's already over, but cuts the devil and kills it. The devil hunters leave the hotel. Denji holds a gun devil's piece. As he feels good, he ends up falling but Himino captures him and realizes he fell asleep. Himino states that they will take Aki and Denji to the hospital and Kobeni and Hirokazu should report to the sector. Sometime later, Himino speaks with Aki and wants to have a newbie welcome party. She explains that Division 4 have never gathered together before and they can use it to bond together. They also may be able to solve the problem that Kobeni and Hirokazu want to leave. Not only do they fear the devils, but they also likely regret that they tried to kill Denji. Aki states if they are doing it, it has to be this week since he wants to invite Makima too, who will be going on a work trip next week. Himino wonders what Denji is as the devils seem to know something about him. She also wonders why Makima cares so much about Denji. Usually, Makima travels a lot, but lately, she is staying in Tokyo and Himino wonders if it's because of Denji and if she knows his secret. Division 4 gathers for a drink. Aki notes that Fushi didn't bring his fiend, but Fushi states it's not that rational-like power. Kobeni arrives a bit late, and Makima said she will come later. While looking at the menu, Denji recalls his promised kiss from Himino and she states she will give him one when she gets a bit drunker. The newbies introduce themselves and Denji reveals he is 16 and loves eating and sleeping. Hirokazu reveals he is 22 years old, he has a contract with the Fox Devil and his hobby is haiku. Denji notes that he has the same devil contract as Aki, who explains that the Fox Devil is friendly with humans and has lots of contracts with devil hunters. Himino adds that only handsome people can use the Fox Devil's head. Kobeni then introduces herself, being 20, but her devil contract is a secret. She also likes eating tasty food. They ask Fushi where is his newbie and Fushi reveals he died yesterday. They proceed to explain that the devils that can't be handled by the civilian devil hunters are passed to the public safety, and people die easily. Himino states that Denji won't die as he is waiting for a kiss from her. Another member explains that Himino had kissed everyone except the newbies and for sure she will kiss them too. Denji gets excited he will be getting a guaranteed kiss. Makima shows up and overhears Denji and wonders if he will be kissing anyone. Denji then denies it. Himino then wonders if he no longer wants her kiss, but Denji states he does wants it. Denji is then torn, not wanting Makima to see him kiss Himino, but he wants a French kiss from Himino. He decides to change the subject and tells Makima that he found a gun devil's piece, but she had heard about it already. Aki adds that more devils with gun devil's pieces are appearing and one even targeted Denji. He wonders if Makima knows something about Denji. Makima states she will tell him if he can outdrink her. Himino decides to join them and the three start drinking beer after beer. One of the members is impressed that Power can suppress her violent urges. Power states it's because she has a very high IQ. The member is surprised that's the reason and wonders what her IQ is. Power states it's 100, but as the member says she has the same, Power then changes her IQ to 120. The member notes that Fushi has a high IQ and he reveals it's 134. Power then notes her IQ is 500 or 1000. Himino then turns and starts kissing Denji. He gets excited, feeling her tongue, but then feels something else. He then realizes that Himino is throwing up in his mouth.
見られちゃった。マキマさんに見られた。でもなんだ。この感触が舌。気持ちいい。柔らかい。柔らかい。なんだこれ。舌？口の中でとろけてるぞ。舌じゃない。ゲロだ。
Everyone sees them and starts to laugh. Power adds that Denji has the habit of swallowing anything with nutrition in his mouth and at that moment Denji ends up swallowing the vomit. Denji recalls his young days while he was looking at the trash cans for food. As he eats anything he finds, he sees some rats eating some drunk guy's vomit and laughs. It must be quite shameful. Denji is vomiting in the bathroom. Hirokazu is helping him and notes he is good at helping because his mother got drunk each day after work. He is the envy of Denji as unlike him, Hirokazu has no talent for being a devil hunter. Denji tells him to look at him as his first kiss was with vomit and there is nothing to envy him for. After the meeting, Himino takes Denji as he is unable to walk home. He ends up waking up at night wanting water. Himino gets on him and gives him some beer with her mouth. She wonders why is Denji there and if she bring him here. Denji feels sick and dizzy. Himino guesses he loves Makima. She is annoyed that he and Aki like Makima. She then lies next to him and tells him they should do it. Himino takes Denji to her place and puts him on her bed. She then goes to take a shower and after that opens a beer. She hears Denji waking up and asking for water and goes and gives him a beer with her mouth. Himino then wonders why is Denji there and if she brought him home. She guesses that Denji loves Makima and is annoyed a bit as Aki also loves her. She lies next to Denji and tells him they should do it. Denji wonders what she means and Himino states it's sex. She tells him to raise his hands and starts taking off his shirt. Denji wonders if that is okay as his first kiss was supposed to be with Makima, but gave it to Himino, who vomited in his mouth if he wants his first time to be taken by Himino too, but quickly confirms it for himself. Himino proceeds to take off his pants but finds Chupa Chups in his pocket. Seeing the Chupa Chups, Denji recalls a bit earlier when he wasn't feeling good due to the vomit and Makima told him to go outside for some fresh air. Makima then brought him some nausea medicine. Denji shares that he had a bad first kiss and even if he kiss a different woman now, he will be thinking of the taste of vomit. Makima was licking a Chupa Chups and pulls it out and puts it into Denji's mouth. She tells him that he probably won't forget the taste of vomit, but he will experience all kinds of first tastes, and for example, his first indirect kiss tastes like a cola-flavored Chupa Chups. Himino had fallen asleep, while Denji is lying on the ground next to the bed. He looks at the Chupa Chups and apologizes to Pochita, but states he wants to save his first time for Makima. In the morning, Himino wakes up Denji and while they eat breakfast, she explains she doesn't remember anything from last night and wonders if she did anything to Denji. He tells her that he won't do it with the vomit lady and is saving his first time for Makima. Himino is glad as otherwise she could be arrested for doing it with a minor. After a moment, she adds that Denji is strange and most people would have felt uncomfortable and left by now. But Denji doesn't understand why would he leave when there is free food. Himino guesses that he loves Makima and wonders if he will still love her even if she had a bad personality. As Denji confirms, Himino decides to help him and set him up with her. Himino offers a secret alliance, she will help him with Makima, while Denji helps her with Aki. Denji agrees and Himino states they are no longer senior and junior, but friends. She tells him he can come sometimes for breakfast with Aki and Power, but Denji wonders if Makima would come too. Makima is on the train heading to Kyoto to meet with her bosses. She doesn't want to meet them as she finds them scary and wants to buy a lunchbox. In a tunnel, a bit before Kyoto, the men sitting in the front and behind Makima pull out guns and shoot her along with her assistant. The men make a call and state they can start the operation. Division 4 members are all out on different missions, but then all of them get attacked. Denji, Himino, Aki and Power are eating at a ramen shop. Denji hears some gunshots, but Power states it was drums. A man can't believe Denji is eating ramen freely and wonders if it doesn't taste terrible. Denji states it tastes fine to him, but the man adds that he can't judge the taste of food. He guesses that's understandable as he only ate the same thing as a child. The man adds that his grandpa was the nicest person and brought him to fancy restaurants all the time. He was Yakuza, but was a necessary evil and only killed a few women and children. The man then pulls out a picture of him and his grandpa, who is the Yakuza that was hiring Denji as Devil Hunter. He explains that the gun devil wants Denji's heart and then pulls out a gun and shoots Denji in the head. He proceeds to shoot at the others, but Power punches him and Aki uses the Fox Devil, eating the man. Aki then looks around and sees that Denji and Himino are shot. The Fox Devil tells Aki that he put something monstrous in her mouth, which is not a human, nor a devil. The man then transforms similarly to Denji, but with swords instead of chainsaws, opens the Fox Devil's head and comes out. Aki pulls out his sword and tells Power to stop Himino's bleeding. Power is surprised to see that Aki's sword is a large nail. As the Katana man stands, Aki pierces him with his sword and a devil states 3. They start fighting and Aki pierces him a second time, with the devil stating 2. He immediately pierces him one more time with the devil stating 1. The man pushes Aki away, having enough of him, but Aki then asks the cursed devil to kill him. The cursed devil then states 0 and appears grabbing the man and killing him. Aki wonders how Himino and Power state she needs to be taken to the hospital. Aki adds that only police officers and devil hunters can have guns in Japan. A woman then shows up, guessing that if Aki runs his nail through someone a few times, the cursed devil will kill him. Aki wonders from where he came and if he is an ally to that man. She places her hand on Katana Man and makes him stand up. She wonders how he lost and Katana Man states he let his guard down. She tells him to then go and kill. Katana Man then takes a stance and in an instant moves past Aki, while slashing him. As Aki is still alive, she tells Katana Man to finish him off. Himino tells Power to help Aki, but Power refuses as he couldn't even see Katana Man's attack. Himino calls the ghost devil, but the devil states that the woman is scary. Himino spits some blood, guessing that this is her end. She offers to give all of herself to the ghost devil if she can use the whole ghost devil. The ghost devil accepts and fully appears, and then engages Katana Man in a fight. Himino states that the devil hunters get used to death and stop crying, but Aki always cries when his newbies die, and it must be a good feeling to have someone care and cry for you. Himino loses her both arms, but the ghost devil overpowers Katana Man. Himino tells Aki to not die and when she dies, she hopes that he can cry for her. Katana Man asks for help and the woman calls the snake devil, which bites off the ghost devil's head. Ghost devil is defeated and Aki turns towards Himino, but sees that only her clothes remain. Akane uses the snake devil to kill the ghost devil. Katana Man tells her that the fiend ran away, but she tells him that their target is Chainsaw's heart, so they don't need to go after her. A hand from the ghost devil then goes and pulls Denji's cord, revving his chainsaw. Denji turns into Chainsaw Man and guesses that they are bad guys, noting that he loves bad guys as when he kills them. No one is complaining. Denji then jumps and engages Katana Man in a fight. Akane reports that they are in combat with Chainsaw on the third floor of the West Narima building and requests backup. Katana Man and Denji fight and seem equally matched. Two men arrive to support Katana Man and he tells them to shoot at his arms or heart. However, Denji knocks them down before they can shoot at him. One of the men still manages to shoot at Denji and Denji takes him as a hostage, telling Katana Man to not move or he will kill the man. Katana Man then kneels, getting himself in his attack stance and an instant cuts Denji and his comrade in half. Katana Man then picks up Denji by the handle on his head and turns to normal, stating that his devil hunter friends should be dead by now as they can't win against guns. Elsewhere, Hirokazu Ri, Fushi and other Division 4 members, including Makima, have been shot dead. Makima's train almost reaches Kyoto and the men that shot her prepare to blend with the crowds. However, Makima then stands up. At the Kyoto train station, Yutaro Kuroshi and Michiko Tendo are waiting for the train. A man approaches them and informs them that they received word that Special Divisions 1, 2, 3 and 4 were ambushed in Tokyo. Yutaro and Michiko wonder about Makima and if they waited for nothing. The train comes and people run out scared. Makima then comes out and tells them that she got under gunfire and some bodies need to be cleaned up. Since Makima is covered in blood, they wonder if she was shot, but she denies it and states it's not her blood. Inside the train, her attackers are all dead. Yutaro and Michiko tell Makima about the Tokyo situation and wonder if she should get back, but Makima explains they won't make it in time and that they are likely after Denji. She decides to deal with the situation from Kyoto and asks Yutaro to borrow 30 convicts serving a life sentence or worse. Makima then asks Michiko to rent out a nearby shrine at the highest altitude possible and to get her some clean clothes. The convicts are gathered and given food while being transported. They wonder where they are going, but are told to keep quiet. At the shrine, Makima changes into new clothes. Michiko informs her that the convicts are almost here and moments later, the convicts are dropped at the bottom of the stairs leading to the shrine. Katana Man tells Akane that he won't be able to fight for a while. Some of his comrades are carrying Denji. One of them sees a crow and then starts saying something that feels strange. As they wonder what he means, the man is crushed to death. Akane immediately calls Team E and asks that Team C reconfirm that Makima is dead. The Team E member tells her that he is unable to contact Team C for a while and at that moment, he also ends up being crushed to death. At the shrine, Makima has Michiko, Yutaro and the convicts with blindfolds. Yutaro wonders why they need blindfolds and Michiko states that Makima reports directly to the Chief Cabinet Secretary, and ordinary devil hunters aren't authorized to know which devils she has contracts with. Makima walks to one of the convicts and tells him to repeat Shuzo Mishima. As the convicts repeat the name, Makima makes hand signs. Katana Man tells his comrade, Mishima, to get Denji in the car. However, as Makima finishes her hand signs, Mishima gets crushed to death, and the convict also dies. Makima then moves to another convict asking him to say, Takashi Inoue. The man repeats it and Makima crushes to death of another comrade of Katana Man. The rest of Katana Man's comrades panic and start running, but Makima kills them one by one. She leaves Katana Man and Akane alive and tells Michiko and Yutaro to remove their blindfolds. As they do, they see all the convicts are dead. Makima explains that she did what she can from here and is now returning to Tokyo. Akane guesses the killings were done by Makima. Katana Man and Akane then see Kobeni in the distance. Earlier, a granny shoots Hirokazu in the neck from behind. Hirokazu then turns and gets shot by her in the head, a bullet that was aimed at Kobeni. Holding a knife and radio station like Akane's, Kobeni guesses that they are the shooters. Sacrificing a nail, Akane summons the snake devil's tail, however, Kobeni dodges it and starts running on the snake devil. Katana Man starts shooting at her, but she gets close and cuts off his arm. Kobeni then takes the gun and shoots Katana Man in the back. Akane picks a gun too, but Kobeni runs and picks Denji and uses him as a shield. Akane then pulls Katana Man into the van and leaves with him. Holding Denji, Kobeni apologizes for trying to kill him the last time. She laughs and cries, recalling Hirokazu's death and how she got close to the granny and killed her using her gun. Kobeni states that Hirokazu protected her and blames herself for his death. Kobeni feels the job is making her go crazy and states that when she meets Himino, she will tell her that she quits. Makima, Michiko and Yutaro arrive in Tokyo and meet Madoka at the station. Makima is glad that he is alive and asks him how many survived. Madoka explains that Special Divisions 1, 2, 3 and 4 came under fire and almost all humans died. Madoka got an order from the superiors that due to personnel shortage, all 4 special divisions will merge into one, and Tokyo Special Division 4 will be now under Makima's control. Madoka then hands her a letter, stating it's his resignation, stating it's getting sinister in the special division and it's either quit or die. Before Makima leaves, Madoka wants to ask her one final question and asks how much of this was anticipated by her. Makima states she can't discuss public safety's internal affairs with civilians and thanks him for his service. Yutaro and Michiko state that they are not there to join her division and are just there as advisors and will be back in Kyoto in 1 week. Makima states it's a shame as there are many great restaurants in Tokyo. Awakening in a hospital bed, Aki turns to see Denji and Power at his bedside, reading manga and arguing over apples. Aki asks who of the 4th Division survived, with Denji responding that only Kobeni and Madoka made it. Denji and Power then turn to leave, as they were summoned by Makima. However, noting Aki's quiet despondence, Denji leaves him an apple. Now alone in his room, Aki unsheaths the cursed sword and asks the cursed devil how long he has to live. It responds 2 years. Aki picks up a cigarette, however remembering Himino, he drops it and breaks down crying. Outside the room, Denji looks through the window, hoping to collect the manga he'd left in there. He begins to walk away, before suddenly realizing that despite his attachment to Himino, her death has not caused him to cry or feel any real sadness. He thinks back to the sadness he felt after Pochita's death, and realizes that neither Power nor Aki's deaths would make him cry. He thinks that even if Makima were to die, though he would be depressed for a short while, he would get over it surprisingly quickly. Troubled by these thoughts, he wonders if giving his heart to a devil truly robbed him of his humanity. Resolving not to think about such depressing topics, he and Power leave to meet with Makima. As they do, Tendo and Kuroshi enter Aki's room to instruct him regarding the changes to the 4th Division. Meanwhile, Makima explains to Denji and Power that the Bureau believes enemy forces are targeting Denji specifically. As such, they have prepared a training course for the two of them. She begins to introduce them to Kishibe but is interrupted by him. He asks them about their thoughts when their comrades died, to which they state they felt nothing. He then asks if they desire revenge, which they both rebuff. Lastly, he asks whether they're loyal to humans or devils, to which they both respond whoever will give them the best deal. Kishibe expresses satisfaction with their responses. Kishibe steps forward, and puts his arms around Denji and Power's shoulders, stating their training has started. Makima turns to leave, as Kishibe explains he is a devil hunter working with the Special First Division, and asks them to call him master. He then informs the pair that he enjoys booze, women, and killing devils before he begins to calmly choke the two of them, snapping their necks. Kishibe drops Denji and Power to the floor, explaining that their basic body structures are identical to humans, and as such he snapped their necks, paralyzing them. He then gives them blood, explaining that, unlike humans, it is all they need to recover from most injuries. Kishibe explains that he is the strongest devil hunter, and as such believes that to truly train the two of them, they need to reach a point where they can beat him in a confrontation. Denji and Power move towards him, preparing to fight. However, Kishibe swiftly stabs Denji in the head and back, before slitting Power's throat. He comments on their inhuman intuition to try and attack him without a moment of hesitation. He states that since he was a child, he'd always hoped for a toy that wouldn't break, before promising to turn the pair into the baddest of badasses. Meanwhile, in his hospital bed, Aki is surprised to find he is unable to summon Khan. Kuroshi remarks that the devil is likely angry for being injured by Katana Man, and as such is likely to never respond to him again. Kendo asks about Aki's lifespan after using the cursed devil, but he interrupts and asks about their intentions. They reveal that due to the worsening of the devil crisis and massive losses of the organization, the Bureau intends to request he makes a deal with a massively powerful devil to help gain an advantage. They then give him the choice to quit and live a more peaceful life. However, he refuses, seeking revenge against the gun devil for killing his family, and the gun agents for killing Himino. As Kuroshi and Tendo leave, an unseen woman enters, surprising Aki. That night, Kishibe decides to stop the training so he can go home and sleep. Denji collapses from exhaustion, as Power gives him some blood to heal him. The pair walk home, bloodied and battered. Power comments on how Denji likely died 20 times, and she was knocked unconscious the same amount. The two consider running away, with Denji noting that fighting without enjoying himself is the worst. Suddenly, Power suggests that rather than using brute force, they try to outsmart Kishibe, causing the pair to grow excited and remark they feel smarter already. Kishibe walks towards Denji and Power's apartment, annoyed at them for being late to training. From inside, Power smells his presence, as the pair, now wearing glasses, move to put Operation Super Smart into action. Power thrusts a spear of blood through the door, however, Kishibe intuitively dodges it. On the floor above, the pair had placed bottles of blood, which Power uses to spear through the ceiling above Kishibe. Again, Kishibe blocks and dodges them. Denji drops down quietly behind him, hoping to hit him with an axe. However, Kishibe swiftly kicks him in the head, knocking him down without looking. Kishibe commends them for their attempt, stating it was the best yet, but points out the pair were weakened by Power's massive loss of blood and Denji's inability to predict attacks. He tells them that they're done for the day. However, as Denji begins to relax, he flings a knife, warning the duo that prey shouldn't trust what a hunter says. Meanwhile, Kuroshi and Tendo take Aki to the Bureau's devil holding facility. They remind him that making a contract with these devils will entail heavy losses. However, it will ultimately protect him in the coming conflicts. Kuroshi asks about the girl who visited him at the hospital, to which Aki reveals she was Himino's younger sister. She gave him several letters Himino had written to her over the years, many of which discuss him. In one highlighted passage, Himino asked, "Is there anything I can do to get Aki to quit?" As they reach a chamber, Kuroshi reveals they intend for Aki to make a contract with the future devil. They remark on two previous agents who made a contract with it, one who gave up half of their lifespan, and another who gave up both eyes as well as their senses of taste and smell. Aki enters, and sees the humanoid, tree-like future devil emerge from the shadows, as it repeats the phrase "the future rules." Aki enters the cell of the future devil, who keeps repeating the future rules and wants Aki to say it too. However, Aki ignores him and explains that he is there to form a contract with him and asks him what he wants in return. Future devil notes that Aki has a bad attitude. He wants to see Aki's future and then will decide if he wants to form a contract. He tells Aki to stick his head into his gut. Aki is surprised but still sticks his head. After a few moments, the future devil laughs and states he wants to live in his right eye and that way he will grant him his power. Future devil states that Aki's face is asking if that's all and explains it's because Aki died the future rules. He starts telling him how he will die, but Aki stops him, not wanting to listen and tells him to enter his eye. Kishibe beats Denji and Power once again. He congratulates them on their try and notes they no longer need to do this each day, but once a week. He tells them to keep their heads cool and not forget what weapons they have. Kishibe then explains that they will be doing live combat training as they will be attacking Snake Devil Woman and Katana Man. Everyone from the new Division 4 will be involved, but if they fail, the division will be dissolved, and Denji and Power will be disposed of for real by Kishibe. Denji states that if it comes to that, he will show mercy and spare Kishibe's life as he made him stronger. Later, Kishibe meets with Makima, who hopes that he will continue to train Denji and Power. Kishibe states he is tired of them already and that each time the dogs he trains end up dying, he ends up drinking more. He guessed that won't happen to toys, but guess due to his age, he even starts to get attached. Kishibe is sure that public safety wasn't clueless about the attack on the divisions and asks Makima if she knew about it. He states he doesn't care about her plans or how many of his dogs die as long as she is serving mankind's interests. Makima states she wants to save as many people as possible from the devils and if the operation is a success, Division 4's existence will become part of the public record. That way, they will have more freedom and be able to save more people. Kishibe then calls her a liar. Katana Man and Akane saw Atari are in their hideout with other men. Akane mentions that even if they run, there is no place that is safe from Makima. She tells the other men that even if Katana Man dies, he can be brought back to life, but the rest of the men need to be careful to not get bitten. They wonder what she means and Katana Man explains that they have a secret weapon left by his grandfather and that below them there is an army of zombies made by people who couldn't pay their debt. Yutaro heard that Aki is after the gun devil and asks him if he believes he can take him down, considering he just lost to another person. Yutaro reveals that he too joined public safety due to beef with the gun devil, but he isn't trying to kill him as it's impossible. Looking at Aki pisses Yutaro as he finds him weak, but Aki acts like he is someone big. Aki doesn't care what they say and tells them to sit back and watch, and if he ends up dead, they can laugh at him. After dropping Aki at the public safety, Yutaro gives him a drink and states that even if he is pissing him off, he is still rooting for him. He gives him a piece of advice, saying that he heard that everyone in the special division is crazy, so he must watch for himself. Makima meets with the current Yakuza boss that Katana Man belongs to. He explains that he heard they got into a fight with some of the younger members of his group, but assures her it wasn't on his orders. He shows a picture of Akane and explains he heard she was behind it and got them into deals with the gun devil. Makima wonders what kind of deal and the man explains that they have 20,000 yen to the gun devil and in exchange, they receive guns and ammo. Makima then asks him to write the names of everyone in his organization that has a contract with the gun devil. The man agrees, thinking that she will just throw them in jail for some time. Makima also wants the names of other families, not just his organization. The man states that is stupid because if the other families find out, it will mean war between the families. The man asks Makima if she had heard of the term necessary evil and explains that if they end up wiping themselves out, it will open Japan to the foreign mafia, and the Chinese and Russian mafia is even worse than them, and they are currently keeping those foreigners away. Makima then brings out a paper bag and the man jokes that a bribe won't change his mind. Makima explains it's not money, but things belonging to the families of all the men in the room, and it's the eyes of their lovers, wives, grandparents, siblings and other relatives. The man checks the bag and is shocked to see it full of eyes.
Me?
Makima explains that they have someone who can return the eyes without a problem and if he cooperates, she will introduce him to that person. One of the men grabs Makima by the shoulder, wanting to punch her, but as she stares at him, he stops and his nose starts bleeding and then falls to his knees. Makima states that he uses necessary evil as an excuse for his actions, but society doesn't need his excuses. The special division and the police surround the hideout of Katana Man. Aki wonders what is the plan, but Kishibe states there is no plan and they just enter. Aki, Denji, Power and Kobeni then enter. Shina and Furuno introduce themselves to Kishibe, but he tells them that the police in Division 2 just need to keep the entrances to the first floor and basement sealed off, while the special division will take out the terrorists. He also explains that the special division is made almost entirely of non-humans, and if one of them escapes, it can cause more casualties than the terrorists. Kishibe then explains to the members, so that they know who they may need to engage. Beam, Shark Fiend, enters the first floor through the wall and sees the zombies. He gets excited about how much he can eat. Kishibe explains that he can swim inside any surface and can transform his head into his devil form for a few moments.
サメの魔人、壁の中や地面、どんな場所でも泳ぐことができる。こいつは短い間なら悪魔の姿にもなれる。
The Beam is eating zombies and tries to bite a hooded man, but gets kicked. He then apologizes to Galgali, the violence fiend, explaining he had mistaken him for a zombie. Kishibe explains that devils become weaker when they become fiends, but even as a fiend, the violence fiend is quite strong.
暴力の魔人。本来魔人になると悪魔の時よりも弱くなるが、こいつは魔人でも強すぎるから毒が出るか。
He wears a gas mask that dispenses poison gas and it must stay on no matter what. As Galgali beats up some zombies, he sees a woman and tells her to leave as if she gets bitten, she will turn into a zombie. As she turns towards him, he realizes she is a devil too, Princhi, the spider devil. Kishibe states that most of the time she assumes a human form and that the humanoid devils tend to be friendly. Princhi turns into her devil form and starts killing zombies.
雲の悪魔。普段は人間のような形をしている。人の姿に近い悪魔は人に友好的だが、悪魔は悪魔だ。感触で人を殺すぞ。
A zombie head then rolls and hits the leg of Angel Devil, who gets annoyed that it dirtied his shoe, but then picks the head and starts eating it. Kishibe explains he is a special case and has no enmity towards humans, but they need to stay away from him as physical contact gets their lifespan drained away. Angel asks Aki if he has a handkerchief that he can borrow. Aki then gets close and gives him a handkerchief, which surprises Angel that he came that close. A man then shows up and tries to shoot Aki, but Angel Devil uses his wing to protect him. Aki then runs and knocks out the man and tells Angel to take the man outside. Angel is annoyed that he got ordered but prefers to have to fight. Aki then tells Denji, Power and Kobeni to leave the zombies to the fiends, as they will be going after Katana Man and Akane, but as they don't know where they are, they will be splitting up. Aki goes to the 4th floor, where a man comes out from one of the rooms and tries to shoot him. Aki dodges and then knocks out the man. 4 more men then come out and Aki prepares to fight them, but one by one, the men start bleeding from their noses and collapse. Aki continues to search and eventually finds Akane. He tells her to quietly come with him, however, Akane summons the snake devil telling it to spit it out. The ghost devil then appears in front of Aki, and Akane orders it to kill Aki. The ghost devil attacks and Aki starts cutting its arms one by one using the future devil's power, as it lets him peek a bit into the future. He still gets overwhelmed by the hand and Ghost Devil manages to grab him by the neck. Akane then orders the devil to choke him to death. While the Ghost Devil struggles with Aki, he recalls a time while dining with Imino. She tries making him smoke and Aki finally accepts a cigarette but notes she is terrible for making a minor smoke. Learning he is a minor, Himino understands why he can't smoke and takes back her cigarette. She tells him that she will keep it and give it to him when he is grown up and needs something to take the edge off. Ghost Devil releases Aki. It extends one of its hands and gives him a cigarette. Aki takes the cigarette and sees Easy Revenger written on it. Aki then puts the cigarette in his pocket. He stands up and takes his sword and walks towards the devil. He recalls that Himino told him that since Ghost Devil doesn't have eyes and it can see only fear. He gets on the devil and prepares to cut its head. He tells Himino that he will soon join her and then cuts off the Ghost Devil's head. Akane is surprised. She starts calling the Snake Devil but stops as Kobeni puts her knife to her throat. However, Aki tells Kobeni to not kill Akane. Aki then asks Kobeni why she remained in public safety and Kobeni explains that they will soon be getting bonus payments. In the elevator, Denji sees Power eating a zombie's arm and finds it gross. Power states that meat is meat, and that pork, beef and human, are all the same. As Denji disagrees, the two are eager to start a fight. Denji states their job is to capture the Katana Man and it would be good if Power doesn't eat him. The elevator then opens the doors on the 7th floor and they see a group of zombies in front of them. Denji tells Power that the zombies haven't noticed them and they shouldn't make loud noises. Power grins and yells her name, challenging the zombies to a fight. She tells Denji to follow her and cover her back. However, Denji decides to remain in the elevator as the door closes, leaving Power to fight the zombies alone. Power fights the zombies, believing that Denji is behind her and will tell the tale of how powerful she is. Denji reaches the 13th floor and as the doors open, he sees Katana Man with 2 of his men. Katana Man wants to talk and explains that depending on Denji's attitude, they are willing to surrender. He explains that Denji killed his grandfather and his men's friends and they want him to pay for that. Denji explains he did it because they turned into zombies. Katana Man doesn't believe it but states that even if it was true, they still were once humans and wonders if Denji feels guilty for killing them. However, Denji denies it. Katana Man then explains that Akane had done some changes to him and replaced his heart with the Katana Devil. However, he couldn't sleep when he accidentally killed a zombie. He thinks that Denji lost his human heart and if he has any semblance of a human conscience left, he should let them kill him. Denji thinks for a moment but refuses the deal. Annoyed, Katana Man then states he will kill him and the 2 transform. Katana Man attacks Denji and they fly off the building into the roof of the nearby building. They proceed to fight from rooftop to rooftop until Denji falls on the train. Katana Man jumps on it too and states that Denji had become faster and wonders why is he fighting for it. Denji states it's to protect the life he has now. They keep on fighting and eventually fall inside the train, which stops due to the commotion they cause. Katana Man takes a stance that Denji recognizes, but sees a woman next to him. He tries stopping the Katana Man, but Katana Man doesn't stop and cuts Denji's arm. He then takes the stance once more and cut Denji's other arm. Katana Man then states Denji can no longer fight and asks him before he dies to apologize for killing his grandfather. Denji stands up, stating he can still fight as he has a chainsaw on his head. He rushes at Katana Man, who takes again his stance and the 2 exchange blows. Katana Man then asks Denji if his grandfather didn't teach him when to quit. At that moment, Denji's head chainsaw breaks. He asks him once again to apologize to his grandfather. Denji states he aimed as expected for his head, but that was stupid. At that moment, Katana Man splits in 2. Denji then asks Katana Man if his grandfather didn't teach him that a beast should never trust a hunter. As Katana Man falls defeated in 2, Denji reveals he turned his right leg into a chainsaw. Katana Man soon awakens, finding himself tied up with a chainsaw chained to the train. Denji adds that Katana Man is the same as him and when he pulled off his katana, he turned back to one piece. Denji states he needs to wait until the police come, but there is something he is upset about. He killed Himino and because of that, there is one less pretty girl in the world. However, he will live his life in prison without regret. Denji doesn't find that fair and Katana Man tells him he can't do anything about it as he is public safety's dog. Thinking a bit, Denji states he will be holding a tournament. Aki shows up, wondering what he means by the tournament. Aki reports to the rest that Katana Man is under control and explains their location. Denji asks Aki if he wants to participate in his ultimate tournament. Denji explains that Katana Man shot Himino, so they should give him nut shots. They will be taking turns hitting his balls and whoever gets the loudest scream out of him before the cops show up is the winner. Aki sighs, stating that their job is to capture him and not torture him to feel good, as that won't make Himino happy. Aki takes out the cigarette he got from Ghost Devil and looks at it for a moment. He puts it back in his pocket and asks Denji what he gets if he wins. Denji states he will naturally get his balls. Katana Man can't believe it and asks them to stop as they approach him. The 2 then start kicking Katana Man, wondering if Himino can hear their requiem for her.
俺たちからあんたへのレクイエムだ。
Makima reports that the terrorist attack was instigated by a former civilian devil hunter Akane Saatari. She made a contract with Gun Devil and distributed guns to the Yakuza. In return, the Yakuza explained that Akane wanted the Chainsaw Devil's heart. Her superior wonders why she wanted his heart. Makima explains that before they could learn, the Snake Devil killed Akane.
それが聞き出す前に
It was probably an involuntary suicide because of her contract with the Gun Devil. They also seized 1.4 kilograms of Gun Devil flesh from the building, and when they combined it with the 5 kilograms they have, the new large piece finally started to move towards the Gun Devil itself. Makima's superior then wonders to where. Sometime after that, after dinner, Aki goes to his balcony to smoke. He takes out a cigarette which ends up being the one with the Easy Revenger writing. He looks at it for a moment and then lights it up and smokes it. Denji dreams of being younger and in a back alley. He sees a door and faces it. He notes he had been dreaming about this multiple times but always forgets the dream after that. He hears Pochita's voice from behind the door and wants to open it so that he can touch him again. Pochita stops him, telling him to never open the door. A woman wonders if Denji prefers a country mouse or a city mouse, which then concludes the first season of Chainsaw Man. Thanks for watching and be sure to like and subscribe for more recaps. See you next time.
Denji 君はさ、田舎のネズミと都会のネズミ、どっちがいい？全てを隠して火をしたならし